We're back in the Bullpen 2024 from BioWeek 2024, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Jill Sorensen of MTEC. Jill, in addition to being a legend in the field, was one of my very first mentors, so we go way, way back, so this is going to be fun. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you, James. Great to be here.
I have 3 questions for you, and the first has sort of 2 parts, but it's simple. Can you tell us a bit more about your background and how you got here in general, and then let us know how you found the Bullpen?
Will do. I'm a patent attorney with a chemistry background. I have done innovation management for a handful of decades, we'll put it that way.
Because you started when you were 5.
That's right. With encouragement from my father, an inventor, engineer, and somebody who thought going to law school may not be so attractive, he opened a door to patent law. He taught me drafting. This was before the internet. I'm just a little bit older than some of the others here. And so I would save my pennies, get on a plane, fly to the patent office and do patent searching for him and his inventor friends. So I went to law school with IP, intellectual property law in mind. There weren't a lot of others of us. And I found my way to the University of Illinois, Chicago, where I think I scared people that this would be a field for me. And so I started 12 years I served as in-house intellectual property, scare them into a job, into employing me. And so I served as 12 years as in-house IP counsel and then was encouraged to step over into technology transfer. And so things carried on from there. I went from University of Illinois, Chicago, where a total of 18 years, to Johns Hopkins University. Ran tech transfer there, was recruited to the state of South Carolina, and ended up working with MTEC, the Military Medical Technology Enterprise Consortium, which is much the same, but with a very dedicated mission to, which I'll tell you about in a second. That's probably another one of your questions.
I like it. It is, and MTEC is a sponsor of the Bullpen, so I'm curious how you found the Bullpen.
I found the Bullpen because much of what we do, this is MTEC is a nonprofit serving military medicine. Those serving us in active duty military are at risk. We need to have their backs as they have ours. And so we work as a consortium supported by DoD to advance health innovation to make sure all of those folks serving are at their performance best. And if they're injured, wherever they are in the world, they get the best medical care. Health innovation is part of that effort. So we carry with our mission a sense of passion, a sense of urgency, and we know that health innovation is making a difference in people's lives.
Absolutely.
We can see this on global fronts now when we think about the importance of getting medical supplies and equipment and knowledge and training to those who need it. So in our networking function, we scout new technologies and innovators, and we engage, meeting folks like you, the investors in this network, telling stories in a way that you know has got to be studied.
Absolutely.
For it to be translated in the 7 seconds of soundbite that we live in today's world. So it was through, I think, J.P. Morgan originally that I learned of Bullpen, and I thought, what a cool, dynamic group of doers.
And it was just casual and fun at JPM. It was incredible.
Yes. And meaningful, too.
Absolutely.
Right? And sometimes it's hard when you are hit with, for me, feels like tsunami of so much that happens at the big convention centers. How do you navigate? And so the Bullpen has just been making that easy and fun and informative.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you a little bit more about MTEC. Can you tell us, how did MTEC start? We got some of the background and goals, but what are you here for? Like, what is MTEC doing?
MTEC is funded by the U.S. Department of Defense to advance health innovation. And so we describe, as you know, in innovation management, we represent the pull side of the house. We work with the Military Medical Corps, which is identifying on a daily basis, what do we need? If it can be purchased, they can go purchase products. But where there is need, there's a translation of opportunity. And so we are in year 9 of a 10-year DoD contract, will be, we understand, renewed for another 10 years. We operate as a consortium of members, 652 currently, 107 are universities, 453 are small businesses. I hope more and more of them engaged in Bullpen. So we both scout the needs list on the pull side. We scout solutions so that we can map to those needs. We source funding, especially our small businesses. Everybody needs fuel of funding, and we just try to connect the dots.
Are you sourcing some of those problems straight from the service members themselves, or is it coming kind of from operational organization, or?
Primarily operational organization. These are the program managers that have dollars to invest, but they're informed by users.
Absolutely.
Especially because we have so many units. There are a number of special operations commands. And just as we would do voice of the customer, it's both a warfighter and the medics and the docs and all the healthcare professionals that are delivering those services that carry a critical voice. So we want to stay in touch with that. And I think those program managers are doing that.
Well, and what you're doing is so important because it's not only helping those who are serving or have served, but it's also applicable to the rest of society. Like so much is developed by the military that benefits everyone.
That's exactly right. Thank you for mentioning part of our mission is dual use directive. So the civilian applications of military medicine are ready. We're not advancing weapon systems. We are ensuring that people are at their performance best. And so translation to trauma medicine, telemedicine, emergency medicine, wound care. Actually, our military customers will say, we don't want to be your only buyer. Please show us a civilian market. That translates to sustainability of a company and the things that they invest in. So we do look for both.
And as we see more natural disasters, often similar things apply.
Yes, in both emergency management and the training needs. How do you prepare for any of that?
Right.
We've been working, I think, very collaboratively with as many federal agencies as well, that we don't need to keep reinventing this across federal agencies. So we're doing more and more with NIH, ARPA-H, with BARDA, with Defense Threat Reduction Agency, with DARPA. Even NSF has a role. And for me, that again is mission critical. You know, you live this way, you work this way. Well, how can we bring people together so that we're really solving problems and as many folks as possible benefit?
That's fantastic. I love to hear it. And I have one final question for you then. So you're obviously engaged in the bullpen. And so you understand that kind of the mantra is, you know, to get out there, to find people and find out how you can help them.
Yes.
But how can the bullpen help MTEC? What is your ask for today to the community?
The primary MTEC ask is connectivity. So we have 120 MTEC members that are small business awardees already selected by the military and having received investments. Our average investment is $1.7 million. These are non-dilutive dollars. For investors with returns-based orientation, good to know that the non-dilutive dollars help get points of interest for them as investors to a finish line. So we would like to introduce our small business members to an investor network. And we'd also we want to get to know the investors in the network so we can do the matchmaking in a meaningful way.
That's fantastic. And Jill, I want to thank you once again. Jill Sorensen of MTEC, both a sponsor and a member of the bullpen. If you think you can help Jill and help MTEC with connectivity, which is one of my favorite words, is how I describe myself often, which I probably learned from Jill, which is why we're both wired the same way we are. If you think you can do that, find her on LinkedIn, connect with her, shoot her that inbox message. She'd love to hear it. Jill, thanks so much once again.
Thank you, James. Great to see you.
Likewise.